Hi, welcome back to our channel. This is Bestie Book Chat. If you are, I forgot what I was going to say. Please remember to subscribe.
Yeah, you push that button that says subscribe. You click it like this.
Subscribe.
And it's just, and if you see us anywhere, just follow.
And if you are subscribed, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Today we're talking about FourthWing.
Yay!
Okay, so you got me
don't
one
have your
too?
shirt on. So I listened to the audio for some of this. She's so cute in the audio. She's like, "Hi!" I'm just like this little brat. I love her.
Okay, so let me thank you so much for my sweater. I love it.
Show them
So
the back.
wait,
Show them the
so
back since
I
it's
guess
there.
I guess my question is,
It's fine. It's so cute.
this is perfect. So we'll link below where you can buy this. You're making us look bad. Stop it. God, I love Taryn. Taryn's the best. Okay.
I like when he was like, "Do you need me to get the wing leader?"
Should we
Grumpy old man syndrome. Fucking love him. It's cute, right? I still like her. Little Ardana. What's her name? Ardana?
And Darna, yeah.
And Darna. See, I forget the first N.
I don't know.
It's cute though, right? I wish she was more golden when I printed it, but she's pretty gold. So, like in theory, she's gonna get like she's just a baby.
Yeah.
So she's gonna get
she's
huge.
a feather tail, and that was a part of the reason why.
But are all baby dragons feather tails? That's what I don't understand. Or is that her breed?
I think that's her breed. I think that's her breed, but I honestly don't know. I don't remember.
I can't remember, but somebody will correct us in the comments. It's okay. But I can't remember if all of them are feather tails. All babies are feather tails. Like all dogs are puppies. Like are all dragons, baby dragons. Like, you know what I mean?
Could be.
Anyway, so we're talking FourthWing. That's what we're talking about.
I mean, I guess that's a part of the mystery of the babies. Yeah, but I think that's part of the mystery of the babies, because they know that it's a feather tail, but like because they've never seen one that young, like they didn't
like
know.
the babies don't come out.
Yeah,
until they're ready, until they're older.
ready to like.
But she was just like, I'll do what I want.
She's like, yeah.
Well, she's attached to them. That's why, really, right? She's attached to.
Well, I mean,
Zayden's dragon. Like she's super attached to that one, and
Target. Right. But Taryn wasn't like looking or anything. He wasn't in the field, and I think she's probably just like, with it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna figure out what's going on. Yeah, she's cute though. But like her voice in the audible is so cute and adorable. She's like, hey, like she's just,
like mine.
Yeah, she's adorable.
Yeah. Okay, so the story of how we actually were able to procure one of these, because I didn't actually go out and get it. You know, these were actually on the shelf in Barnes and Noble before their release date.
And you didn't get one?
I didn't get one because I was literally like, okay, so what had happened was, so I, in an effort to like save money on reading, I've really been relying pretty heavily on the Libby app. So
you saw them in the wild.
I saw them in the wild. I didn't get one. But the thing is,
do you regret not getting one now?
Because it was such a pain. Yeah. Yeah, because they weren't available anywhere. And I think actually the one that I saw in store was a paperback too.
There's paperbacks of them already?
The one that I remember seeing in Barnes & Noble, I think, was a paperback before they released these in the hardcovers. But like I saw FourthWing, and I remember thinking like, this book is going to be huge because it's all over TikTok already and everything else. So I remember thinking like, oh, I'll read that, and I put it on like my holds list on Libby, and immediately like the day of the release, the library had a bunch of copies. I think they had something like 100 copies of the audiobook. So I was able to listen to the audiobook immediately, and I think I got like 3 chapters in, and I was like, nah, I need to read this with my eyeballs. So I immediately bought the ebook because I happened to be on vacation the week that it came out. So that
You're
Friday,
always on vacation. Always. So wait, so
I came back that Friday, went to the bookstore, it wasn't anywhere. I went to 2 bookstores, it wasn't anywhere. Went to an indie bookstore, wasn't anywhere.
Way to go.
So then I bought the ebook, read it, and then we had the hunt.
Yeah, so that I didn't know it was that big of a deal trying to get it, because I'm always behind. Like when it comes out to new books, I'm getting better. I'm gonna get to where like I'm up with the times, but I'm not. So I text you. I was like, "Where's this book?"
It's like, it's nowhere.
And she's like, "It's nowhere." I was like, "What do you mean? What do you mean?" So we went looking, and I actually went to Austin for my husband's birthday, and I looked out there, and it wasn't there. And then I told you, I was like, "Apparently, it's in the airports."
in the
right?
airports. Yeah.
I was like, it's in the airports, and your husband was going out of town,
Yes.
so he checked. He found only one.
So he went to, and I didn't realize this at the time, but he said he came out of security. He went to the first bookstore he saw, and he saw this one, and he picked it up and immediately bought it. And the rest of them had the non-sprayed edges one. He went to 5 other bookstores in that airport, and none of them even had FourthWing. It was only the one like right out of security that had 3 copies.
And so he found it.
So he was,
and then you found me a copy, but didn't have the sprayed edges.
Correct. So like,
was it before? It was before that though.
It was before. So the week before he was supposed to travel, I happened to be close to an indie bookstore over on this side of town, and I was like, well, let me just go look. And they only had 4 copies. They had 4 copies. They had sold one that morning, and then like they were like,
and you bought it.
We got 2 left. So like I grabbed one, and I was like, hey, it doesn't have the sprayed edges, and you're like, just buy the book.
I was like, just buy it, because I hadn't read it yet, because I was like, I want to read it.
Yeah.
And then you bought this, then he got this one, and then I was gonna get this one if you got the Fairy Loot one. And that was a hot mess. So then you kept this one. I got one. I was like, I didn't care. I still have one. Yay.
Yeah.
So apparently it's even hard to find just a non-sprayed. Like the non-sprayed edges ones are hard to find still.
So I think now they're actually finally coming back into stock. So I've seen a couple posts from like the major bookstores and publishers and stuff that like,
so pretty.
It's coming back. Amazon has started shipping again,
which is good.
And of course, it's the non-sprayed, but like they're working on the second reprint. So yeah,
I want a sprayed edges one if I can find one, but I'm not about to pay no $250 for it. Like,
no, that's insane.
I will learn to spray myself if I need to. That's insane.
Like I mean, I get like people wanting to have a specific aesthetic book, but it's just like $250 for.
And there's a lot of people coming out with their own like book box where they're coming out with them. There's like 5 or 6 different ones.
So there's other options.
Yeah, but if you want like the original, it's not gonna happen.
And luckily, Fairy Loot's actually doing a reprint. I think they go on sale in like October. So
yeah, because you said you were gonna try again.
I'm gonna try again, and I'll try to get you one too.
Yay! I want the Cassandra Clare ones though that you showed me.
Yeah.
I need those.
Yeah, I know. But you're Cassandra Clare girly.
I am. But this is good. I like this. She did the author just did a big talk in, I don't know where Waterstones is, I guess, wherever she was out there talking about the book, and she was getting tripped up trying to answer people's questions without giving stuff away, and I thought it was so cute. She was like, I can't answer that right now. Like,
so there's gonna be 5.
She said there might be 7. She's plotted out for 5, but if she can squeeze in more things, 5. She might.
Okay.
In the middle,
get, like, some you might get characters,
or you might get a prequel of, or you might get a prequel of like the actual rebellion where all this stuff happens. I mean, she might go that route. She doesn't know yet, but from what she had said, for sure 5. But it might. You never know, because this is a good world. She built a very good world, which is what I appreciate.
Is this your first time reading her as an author? So I never read her before either, and apparently she's a romance author too, which makes sense.
Aliens? With blue aliens.
Blue aliens. Which makes sense because I think she wrote the romance in this very well.
Well, she's that, and she said she was very deliberate in how she wrote this, it being a like not fairy tale, but like it being a fantasy, because she doesn't use like normally when you get like fairies and fantasy and all that, you get that the language is kind of like old time, I don't know, old timey or whatever. This is more modern, which I liked, because I hate when it's a fantasy and I'm just like, what are you talking about?
What did you think of Violet?
I like Violet because she's so much, because the mom was sick from the venom that got her, and that's why she's so pale and all that.
I do not trust that mom. There is something
No, she's weird.
Something up.
Either she is part venom, like from being sick. I think that's what she is. Because the mom's sketchy. Because once I learned that the mom could control like the weather, like, so why was it when it was all nice and pretty outside, and then once she gets to the parapet, it's like boom, Hurricane Katrina. It's like, bro, like what's happening?
Yeah,
the mom was like messing with her. I think the mom is a jerk. And the mom killed dad, right? Like that's
my theory. That's my theory that the mom killed dad because based
he was
on,
digging up too much stuff.
He was digging up a lot, She's obviously like trying to protect her own interests. I mean, why
Mm-hmm.
else would you have a child that doesn't want to go into the writers' college do that?
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like he was digging up a lot, and also like if you look at the kind of the timeline of whenever he gets sick.
Mm-hmm. Look at you.
If you look at the timeline,
Cute.
like when he gets sick, like after the son um, passes away,
Mm-hmm.
It says that like his he started having like worse symptoms,
Yeah.
and then he eventually passed away from like his
A heart
heart
attack or
issues.
his heart, like
But
his
it's
heart
like,
was broken.
but it almost feels like he didn't have his son, he was a healer, a mender. He's a mender,
The
right?
son was a mentor.
He
Yeah,
was a
yeah, yeah,
mender.
yeah, yeah.
So so he wasn't there to like maybe undo some of the stuff that she was doing
And
to
they're good at
him.
poisons, obviously, because
Yes.
Violet was like, "I'm gonna poison all these
I'm gonna
people."
poison all these people.
Yeah,
She's
of
very
course.
smart. Very smart. I actually, during all the battle things, I think that was like it's almost unheard of, or maybe it's not written very often that like you have your main character not be fucking amazing at fighting.
No, she's just there. That's why she's relatable, though. You're like, damn, I just wanted to read and
Yeah,
chill and
I just wanted to hang out, read my
yeah,
books,
and now I gotta go
stay
here.
in the
Now I gotta go and
library.
kill things and
Yeah.
I'm like, really? Like, why do I? And I felt for her when she was like, my power is to kill people. Like I wanted to just,
Mm.
but then I was like, but who
After her
better?
signet shows,
Yeah,
yeah.
but then I was like, who better else to have that power than somebody who didn't want it? You know what I
Yeah,
mean? At least she'll
yeah,
use it for good.
yeah.
But I don't like Dane. I don't like him.
So, okay, when I first started reading this book, I was actually really worried that it was going to be a love triangle, but I really liked the way that it was written because it whenever she first gets to the writer college, she's like, "Oh, it's this person that I grew up with. I've always had feelings for
Mm-hmm.
him." And then she like starts to get to know somebody else. She's maturing
Right.
also throughout this process and kind of stop like it's not really like she's having to pick between these two guys. It's
Yeah.
very obvious that she's like
growing up.
yeah, she's growing up.
But
She's
he's a
getting
jerk.
he's not no, he's not
He's a jerk.
I think through his need to protect her, he's not taking her best interest into mind.
He's a jerk. Every time he touched her, he was reading her mind.
Oh yeah, he said.
Every
Well,
time
not every time.
every time
Not
he
every
touched that girl,
time.
he was reading. He's in on it. Him, his ugly dad, and her mom. They were in. I bet you the mom's having an affair with his dad. I think that's it too. Bet you that's her brother. Like it's something weird. Like they're weird. Like no, I do not like Dane. Dane is up there with Kale and his goofy self. I don't like either of them people. They both just. Bleh.
So, okay, that was one of the things that I was holding back from telling you until after you read this book. Dane and Kale, I feel like, are very much of the same like type of person.
They're jerks.
And that like they both put duty and honor
over everything. They do.
Yes.
Which is like, no, bend the rules.
Yeah, no, you like
but Dane only bends the rules when it's favor for him. Like, you know what I mean? Like he'll bend them if he needs to. Because that one kid that could like I think even Zayden touched on it. Like that one kid that the professor came in and snapped his neck because he could hear everybody. Well, the other one, he could read your mind too, so why not kill Dane? Because it's controllable.
Yeah,
like no,
he's controllable. That's the thing. He is,
but not everybody knows what Dane's power is either.
The guy, what was the name of the bad guy? Was it Jack? No.
Yeah, Jack's a dick.
Jax?
Jack.
It was Jack.
Jacob.
Was it Jacob?
Smith.
What is it?
His name is my name. I think it's Jack.
I will not die today.
It's Jack. Jacob.
Jack.
He was a jerk. Jack, right there. Jack.
Jack.
Barlow. Yeah.
Jack Barlow.
He was a jerk.
So that
why did he was just rude? Like why did he have it out because she was because of who she was?
He's just a psychopath.
Like, he was just weird, right?
I couldn't think of anything. I mean,
there was no reason for him to be a jerk other than just to be a jerk.
His whole like kill the weak thing was just weird. Like he just has to be like a straight up psychopath.
Yeah.
I was really hoping that she wouldn't have told them that he was allergic to oranges and just let him die of anaphylactic shock.
Yeah.
I think that would have been fitting, but yeah, no, he
I
think he met a
fitting
end though.
Yeah.
I think he did meet a fitting end.
Yeah.
But I just like his entire character was just to be antagonistic, and
it's just who was just there just to be there.
Inducing, and that was one of the things I really liked about this book is that the pacing in it is phenomenal. It's
like
from jump you're
You're
going.
just going.
You're going. And
but
it's
that's
like
how that story should be. Like it's very Hunger Game-ish.
Yeah.
Like it's once she got in there, that was it.
But they even though we're building worlds and there's like a whole magic system, like how that unfolded, it's not like there was a lot of info dumps. There was just like it's Violet and she's trying to get through the day.
The way you would receive it if you were getting that. Like, okay. Because she didn't study to go in there. She was just like.
A lot of the times whenever you read a fantasy book, especially a new fantasy book, which is why I think a lot of people probably don't jump into them a lot of the times, is because of the info dumps. Yeah. And they're worried about like the world building and not being able to understand.
Yeah.
But the way that this is written, it's done very well so that like
you can like it info dumps, but not in a way that you realize it.
I don't think it's info dumpy at all. I think the way that the information is conveyed is very palatable.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like she gave you the information as you needed it. Instead of just, like here's chapter 1. Here's everything you need to know, and go. And I'm like,
and we're building this world, and this is the magic system, and this is what happened, and then on this day, this thing happens. Like, wait.
Yeah, and I did like the quotes before every chapter. I like that.
I think they did a good job of setting the scene.
And I like Mira. I did.
Oh, her sister.
Yeah, I liked her.
Yeah,
she was nice. I don't. She's still a little.
My favorite side character was Rhiannon.
Yeah. I liked Emoji
because she was just like
Imogen or Emogen, whatever her Imogen.
The pink hair.
I liked her.
Well, she tried to.
I liked her though. Like she could tell she just was there.
Just there. No, Rhiannon was my favorite because
she was
just sitting there going like, "Oh, you want to get yourself a wing leader? Get yourself a wing leader."
Yeah, girl. She was the good like supportive best friend.
I will make sure that nobody knows.
But I like Liam too.
May he rest.
Yeah, I feel like he's gonna come back though.
He did.
No, I think he's gonna come back.
He did.
No, I think he's gonna come back. There's gonna be a way for there to be like a time going back in time because the Goldie over here can stop time, right? So what if that's one of the theories, that her second signet is gonna be able to like time travel.
God, I hope not.
I do. I want her to save Liam.
I hate time travel in books. It really ruins it, and I think it takes away from the authenticity of the story.
I need Liam to live.
The thing is,
he was adorable.
The thing is, this is high stakes. If there's no consequences, then
kind of like Vampire Diaries.
What are you doing?
Always knew they were gonna live because they're immortals. So, what do you want to see in the next book? Like, what are you excited to see?
Okay, so one of the things that I want to see multiple point of views. I really liked then the last chapter that we switched over to Xaden's perspective. That was really nice, and I want to see more people's point of views in the next book.
It's hard for me to keep up with point of views though, because I'm like, wait, who's talking again? Oh, it doesn't.
I guess it depends if it's
like if it's Violet and Xaden, then I'll be okay. But if we have to do, I was gonna say, if we have to do Dane and Mira and
I think that's gonna be important though, especially if she's gonna try and like expand the book series. Like we're gonna get different people's POVs.
I need 2, 3.
I want like 4 or more.
3.
4 more. I think 4 is a good number.
Or if we do, I will accept 4 more if some of them are from the dragon's point of view.
Next book, I would like to see Violet get better control of her powers.
Mm-hmm.
What I am very curious about.
Hold on, wait. I like when I text you. I was like, "Oh, so she's fucking Thor now." Like, that's all I could think of.
I literally think I had the same question. I was like, "Oh, okay."
So she's Thor, yeah.
God of Thunder over here.
Which I'm okay with it. She doesn't have a hammer. She has a dragon.
What I really want to get an answer on for the next book, though, because we know that Dane touched her face and got all of her memories specifically related to Xaden and all of the back and forth. And like
how much does he know? Yeah,
it's not only what he knows. What I'm really curious about is he now knows that the Feathertails, the baby dragons, can imprint powers on people without there actually being a signet or like the chemistry bond. So and they're very particular, Terran is, about talking about how they protect their young, how like what Andarna did is like really not allowed.
Yeah.
I'm curious as to whether or not a part of like their basically the bad guys, like Violet's mom and all of them,
Are
are going
gonna
to
try to
react
yeah.
to that information, and if they're going to try and steal some of the baby dragons, and
But
then we're going to have a bigger problem on our hands,
well,
right?
that's what I was thinking too. I was like, that's why I want to see like points of view from the dragon, because like we don't know where do they live when they're not with their humans. Like when they fly off, where do they go? Like where are the babies being kept? Like do Taryn and Sigil have a baby somewhere? Because obviously they mate. So like where do these babies come from? Who takes care of them if all the dragons are off fighting? Who's guarding the babies? Like these are the questions they need. Who is there a dragon babysitter?
Maybe.
Like I need to know those things. Like that's why I was like, I want to know what the dragons do. Like what do y'all do when we're in class, fucking around and war briefs?
Dragon things.
When we're in war briefs,
we're hunting
and sleeping. What are y'all doing?
We're nesting.
Yeah, exactly, nesting. I want to know what they're doing with those babies. Like, do they who teaches the babies how to fly? Like, well, I want to know.
What else do you want to see in the next books?
Where's Brennan been all this time? What's he been doing? Excuse me, sir. When I read that part, I closed that book. I said, really?
Did you see it coming?
No.
Okay, I did.
I didn't.
I predicted it pretty early on, and I was
didn't.
Suspicious. Something's going on here.
Something was suspicious about his death because the way Xaden talked about it, but at the same time, I was like, maybe Xaden killed him or somebody else killed him, and they're just blaming the dad. Or maybe then I thought the mom killed him and then blamed Xaden's dad just to get her like agenda across, but I didn't think he was alive. No.
Did you catch the thing about Liam's dad?
What happened to Liam's dad?
So remember, Violet basically has a photographic memory.
Oh yeah, she does.
So she like recalled all of the logs of all the people who were put to death. And Liam's story and Violet's story didn't sync up. Like what's written as far as like who was executed and Liam's part of the story don't match.
So what does that mean?
So I think Liam's dad's alive.
But there's a lot of conspiracies, and I love them all. I'm just like,
what's your favorite conspiracy?
That her second signet's going to be something with time. Either because she could already stop it, so you already know her thing has to be with time. What it is exactly, who knows?
I did think it was interesting that Indarna had suddenly just gotten huge.
Yeah, I don't know where she was just like,
And Xaden's like, so this happened, but I'm not going to tell her. I'll let her figure it out on her own.
Yeah, she's like, I'm huge now. Like, excuse me.
So I guess it'll be interesting to see like how they come back together because she's mad at him. For now.
And I also want to see how when Dane and Violet reunite, like
I guess it's another question though. Like I wonder if she can go back to the war college because they know that Xaden betrayed them. And they now know that Brennan is alive, and there's a whole like
and they know that Dane and his dad set them up.
Yeah,
like that would piss me off. Like, like how? Yeah, where do they go now?
Well, that's like if they stay where they're at, where Brennan is, like how do they stay undercover?
And then
like
they don't. Like there's no. I don't think there is going back.
Yeah. Well, I feel like it's kind of mentioned at maybe from Violet's point of view towards the end that like well when I go back, and the thing is like they're within a 5-day period, right? So it's like they could go to the fort and die, but they basically had a choice to like you can go fight in the city. If you go fight in the city, you're not going to make the deadline to get back over here, and it's been 3 days and they had 5. I just like it'd be very interesting to see how that plays out in the next book about like how they move on to the next step, because they know that they can't trust Dane. I think they probably knew that the whole time, but like
now she really isn't gonna trust him. Like he's like #1 enemy.
That is like chop off your hands kind of offensive.
Yeah.
My favorite scene.
Okay, favorite scenes. Go.
My favorite scene was when they're walking through the dragons, and Violet's like standing there, and Rhiannon is like, "Girl, stop." And the 2 other dragons come up to start sniffing her because she has the scales of like their
and she's like, "Oh,
family."
You
They're like, "Oh,"
and she's like, "Oh, you smell them? It's because they're like, all right." And then they walk off because they're probably thinking like, "This bitch is wearing the skin of my brother."
Yeah,
like who is this bitch right now?
She was like, "I'm dead."
That's it. We're dying.
No, but they were just like, All right. I mean, and that's the other thing is like the dragons, I guess, can understand you to a certain extent. So she's
Yeah.
just talking. She's just like, doo doo doo.
Yeah. My favorite scene is when she saves Goldie. She's like, God damn it, I gotta go save this dragon. And then she
Yeah.
was like, "Hey, fly away. Oh, you can fly. Like, oh, you could have flew this whole other time over here trying to save you. I almost died." And then Zayden's there, like, not supposed to help. So hey, watch out. Like he's just like
Yeah. So
helping
he's
her.
just in the shadows with Sigale, and then like Taryn's just like, guys, do I have to come in and fix this? And then he's
Yeah,
like, get
yeah.
on, you little
And she's like,
scrappy,
I can't. And he's like,
get on, scrappy do.
yeah.
No, that was a good one. Especially, I really liked it whenever she stabbed Jack.
And
She stabbed Jack with a knife. That was the best.
she flung her dagger at him in the
Yeah,
arm.
necessary.
Yeah, and then
That guy needed to be
and then
stabbed.
Zane's like, she did go for the kill, and it's just because that's not her.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, and then later on, she's like throwing daggers at the window, like right in the head.
She mad.
Yeah,
She big mad.
he's like, oh, she's like, I could have did it, I just didn't do it. It's not her, and I like that.
Mm-hmm.
She's not a killer.
Mm-hmm.
Why is it called Iron Flame? Do you think?
Iron Flame?
Yeah, the next book. Do you think that's gonna be their new like section since they're now in the rebellion? Like that's gonna be the name of that section. Like FourthWing was like they were the FourthWing, but now they're Iron Flame.
That would solve the whole question about whether or not they go back to
But
this
why
guy with
Iron
War College.
Flame?
War
But
College?
why iron and a flame?
Because they're very tough, and they have iron.
I'm done with you. So thank you for listening to us. If you've made it this far,
If you made it this far, leave iron flames in the comments.
which would be the nail emoji and fire next to each other.
Thank you for joining us for Bestie Book Chat with Syren's Books.
And if you have questions, leave them in the comments and subscribe. Click, click, click.
Bye.
Adios. Bye.